Alright, so I'm going to do a quick tutorial on the batch functionality on a Eurotherm Nanodac. Batch is a handy feature that lets you enter a unique identifier to a run of data and then easily recall that down the road. So for instance, if I'm running a batch of parts or cookies or whatever it wants to be, and I want to identify that, so say a lot number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can enter that, and then 2 months from now to look that up, I don't need to know the time and date. I can use the Eurotherm review software, simply punch in the lot number or batch number that I want to search for. It will go out, find that, and give you just the information for that batch. So first thing you need to know is the controller itself needs to be enabled with the batch function. So in this Nanodac, originally it did not have it, so I had to call the factory. They asked for some codes and the firmware version and a little bit of money, and then they give you a code to unlock that feature. Once it's in there, though, you have to do a couple things to set this up. So we're going to hit the left button, which is called the page key. It gives you a list, and you log in as engineer. So log in, engineer. My password happens to be 100. I am now logged in. Your menus or your tabs down here, if you scroll down, batch should be there if it's enabled. Hit that. I'm going to scoot in just a little bit here. So you can see the field 1 is start stop is the mode, the number of fields, the field 1, that's a name. So if right now it's defaulted to field 1, but you can call that whatever you want. So I'm going to call it, well, I'm just going to leave it there so I don't have to hunt and peck. So anyway, that is really the setup. So if you back out of there and go to your instrument, the other thing you want to do is make sure your display is going to show that. So go to your display tab under the instrument header, scroll down, and it's just a series of check marks or X's. So what we want to do is make sure our batch is check marked, and it is. To change that, you hit your circle key and you can, basically toggle between I want batch or not. So in this case we want batch, obviously. So that's really it from a configuration standpoint. Now if you go back to your main screen here, now when you scroll there should be a batch field. Now since I'm still in configure, it says in config mode, so I obviously have to back out of that. So we're going to log back out. Now when I go to that, I have some fields. So the first one here is, if I don't fat finger it again. So here's our batch control. Active, new, field number, or field 1, and start. So top one tells you if you're actively running a batch. I am not. So what I want to do is start a new batch. So right now it's no. I want to switch that to yes. It is. My field now is blank, so I want to put in a batch number. So in our case, I'll put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit your page key, that saves it. So now I do not have an active batch. I've got one ready. I've got my batch number in, so I go to start. So start, I'm going to hit this, and now my active field now says yes. It shows me the batch number that I'm recording, and then I can choose to start or stop it again. The start and stop could also be done from a contact closure input, so you could have a button on a panel, push it to start, push it to stop. That's really in the setup through iTools. So we're running a batch. I'm going to pop out to our trend screen. Yeah, and right now, eventually, it will scroll down and it will show you that I am running a batch, so it's going to time and date stamp that batch number, and you know, once that rolls off the screen, you can go into history mode, see it again, but normally you're going to use our reviewer software and search from that search for that batch field. That's really it. The next batch, you go back to your batch summary, and we can stop a batch, and you get the next bunch. So now the next field would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I suppose. But anyway, that's a quick little you know, Cliff Notes version of how you get into that. If you have any questions, please feel free to call Eurotherm and ask for their tech support, and someone there will be able to help you. Thank you.